Okay. Sometimes you come across a novel and describing it doesn't quite do it justice. And in this case, Elton did an amazing job with life support. So we have the main character, Deadman, Derek, has this condition. He's alive, but he feels dead inside. It's a very interesting concept because these are mental disabilities and physical disabilities I had no idea existed. He didn't just go all out and just pick these, random weird diagnoses. You can tell he did a lot of research. So Derek is part of a support group, and in that support group he has a partner called Trash. Trash has pick out, which is it's a diagnosis where you pretty much can't stop eating stuff. Now, I've seen it quite a few times on Grey's Anatomy, and I find it fascinating. Then you've got alien hand syndrome, and you've got multiple personality disorder. All of these characters are in a support group together. He calls it the Freak Show. But it's more than that. This is a intense family unit of people that have found each other, who feel completely disconnected from the world itself, and they have locked in to this very intense bond. So imagine what it must be like to find your tribe and then one by one lose your tribe. This plays out at the start almost like a murder mystery. Who's done it kind of style. And it gets more and more intense as we go on, starting with the first death. I'm not gonna lie, I really hated the bitch, so I wasn't too fussed. But there is a scene with garden shears that still very much sends a shiver down my spine. As far as atmosphere, character development, he nailed it. I don't think I could ever get this close to how in depth he has pursued this novel through and through. And it's insane the route that it takes, because it goes from murder mystery to supernatural to almost drug-induced nightmare, all kind of mixed in together. There is a bizarre element to this, I'm not going to lie to you, but the drug-induced side of it, like, there is a point where I sat there and I went, I've been there, in the sense that I know and understand what that must be like, having gone through various different treatments and having seen the side effects. And the one time that really hit me was when I was on tramadol, and that just reminded me so much of what it was like to be on tramadol. It was almost as if time just didn't exist, and everything seemed so surreal to me. It gets deep. It gets to points where there is dark humor in there. There is an emotional connection to the characters as a whole, to the investment put into the relationship between Trash and Derek, and there were points where I bawled my eyes out and I just couldn't grasp at points the sheer detail, the depth. I mean, the gore and the horror was on point, but so was the psychological element to this book. It is insane. And I loved the way that he didn't just go, right, this is the diagnosis, this is the medical condition, and skim over it. No. He went all out. The one guy with the 3 personalities, they're so worlds apart, his personality types. And it's fascinating because it's almost like an insight into how to deal with certain people with certain conditions, which is it just, there's, like I say, there's no way to describe this book. It just caught me off guard completely. And I definitely think it should be on your to-read list, because, I mean, I looked back at this book and I still think I need to reread it to grasp some of the concepts in it, because it is, psychologically, it screws with your head as a reader, because you're going on this emotional roller coaster you didn't even know you signed up for. But Elton did an amazing job, and I definitely would recommend checking out more of his items, because this was his baby. You can tell by the amount of care and love put into every detail, every plot line. He really went all out with this, and I definitely think it is worth picking this up for a